Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Releford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Releford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Releford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online radio box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you on the Jeff Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago. That sounds so good to say every Monday. How y'all doing? How is y'all Monday going, man? I'm telling you, with it being the first day of the work week, man, I always tell y'all, coast right through that bad boy. Y'all gonna get through it. It's the first day. The first day can always be a little rough, you know, but it's okay. Because for some people, Friday is coming, and Friday can be payday. You might still be coming off the high. You might be one of the people that just got paid. Yeah, you might have had a great weekend, but I understand your woes because you just coming off that first day. But this is why we do Motivational Mondays on Biggs Radio Chicago, y'all. This is why we do this. We do this so we got something to bring y'all. See how I just ease right into that? So let me tell y'all, boom, here it is, baby. Now look here. Motivational Mondays on Biggs Radio Chicago consists of myself from 5 to 6 p.m. with the Jeff Releford Show. And then we have Julian St. Chris with Mixtape Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. And then we have Miss Dinah Lynn Biggs on the Dinah Lynn Biggs Show from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come on, y'all. We got y'all for a good 5 hours. For a good 5 hours. All y'all need to do is tap into some of this talk. Then tap into some of that great music and talk. Come on now. It's a win-win for everybody. 5 hours of talk radio and music for y'all. So y'all can get a little uplifted out here. You know, Life Coach Jeff like to put a little bit of accountability on y'all. I don't do that to make y'all feel bad. I just want y'all to think a little bit. Just think a little bit before y'all start getting into that music. You know what I mean? But this is what we do, y'all, every Monday. And please, I always got to let y'all know this. Please check out BiggsRadio.com. Please, if you want to know just a little bit more about the station and the personalities that we have on Biggs Radio, y'all. Listen, y'all just got done listening to King Blue and the Royal Drive. That brother got a good show, man. Tap into King Blue, man. He out here doing his thing. Big ups to you, brother. And he has just migrated over to Biggs Radio Chicago as well. Y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, once again, we always say it, we do big things over here on Biggs Radio. We don't stay mediocre. We do big things over here, y'all. This is what we roll. This is how we roll. This is what we do. So also, like I said, check out BiggsRadio.com. Please do. And inquire about all of our stations and how we're all interconnected as personalities, please. And if you would like to go ahead and submit any music, please, y'all go ahead, email biggsradio@gmail.com or give us a call to inquire about ad space as well at 773-462-4447. Once again, that number is 773-462-4447. Man, all right, baby. Now listen, we gonna go right into this thing. I didn't want to do long, drawn out announcements today. I got a couple more things to say as the show progresses a little bit of some things that'll be happening and coming up. So we'll make sure we get that out. But I want to say this to y'all, man. I talked about some of y'all tap into the podcast. I'm just throwing that out there. Listen, I talked about change, okay? And I made a big thing about change because I wanted to let y'all know that I'm going through a little bit of change in my life too. But you know what? Today, I wanted to come at y'all from a different angle because I really want y'all to start thinking about not just the change, but what do you do while you're in the transition. Not just going through the change. I'm talking about the transition, the shift, when it's occurring. When it's occurring, you know? Because I'm trying to tell you, I looked at it and I said, sometimes what happens is, especially where I'm at right now in life, God got a funny way of pushing you into your gift, your calling, and where you say you want to be. People, y'all got to be careful what y'all ask for out here. Be very careful about what you ask for in terms of where you want to be in your life. Like, y'all know how I roll. I talk about business sometimes, but everything ain't always about business. You can just want peace of mind. You can just want somebody to have a change of heart about you. You could just want the bosses on your job or the people at your job to just look at life a little bit better. Be careful what you ask for, baby, because you just might get it. I'm telling you. But what you do when you go in that transition period? What do you do? A lot of us don't like that period because it gets a little ugly, it gets a little hectic, you know. Like I said, change last week. Like I said, change is ugly and hectic. But that transition period, man, I'm telling you, you start to realize some things. More so, if not about situations and other things that go on around you, you start to realize a little bit more about yourself. Don't y'all just love how I always point the finger back at yourself? And believe me, whenever I say yourself, I'm always pointing the finger back at myself as well, y'all. I'm telling you, this is a revolving door that we call life, a revolving door that we never stop going through, because life is filled with changes and transitions. It's filled with changes and transitions. But I'm telling y'all, man, I'm going through a transition, man. I'm at a place where it's go time. Y'all ever been at a place where it's just go time? And I ain't talking about like you just talking about it. Nah, baby. I'm talking about you got to live that thing. You ever looked at yourself and said you wanted something or you wanted to do something so much and it just happened? It just happened like that. People, that's what we call manifestation. That's what we call manifestation. And you have the power to do that within your life if you would just take a little bit of charge while you in the transition. Charge in the transition. I like that. I might have to put that out as a book or something. Charge in transition. I like that. Or taking charge in transition. That sounds very good. Yeah, we're going to use that. So y'all taking charge in transition out here. What are you doing to affect it? Okay. What are you doing to make it good for yourself, to make it better? Are you speaking those good things to happen? Come on now. Take charge of your transition. Take charge of it. First, you got to recognize that you're in the bad boy. Okay? Recognize that you are in that joker. Recognize that it's staring you right in the face. Because like we talked about with change, it's going to come this transition. And sometimes sometimes with change, people, sometimes you can't force it. You got to let this joker happen. And when you see it, you can also force something from not happening. So that's what I mean. When we like to say we like to force something to happen, we think it's pushing it along. No, but you can also force something not to happen. So you don't want to force anything to happen, or you don't want to force anything not to happen. You need to recognize what you see, and we need to coast right through that bad boy. That is why transition is so important, yo. Transition refines us. Ooh, it refines you. It refines you. It shakes off the dust. Shakes off what you thought was bad, you know, and it turns back around and it reveals some things about you. And it says, you know what, maybe this, let me brush this shoulder off here. Maybe it is good. Wow. Maybe under that dirt, we do have a foundation, you know, maybe in the dark place, maybe there is something growing there that makes some sense to me. I just would have never recognized it if I would have been dwelling on the past. I would have never paid attention to it if I would have just dwelled on that past, that thing that wasn't going to do me no good, or because some things can do you good, but what happens is we get complacent. And I got to tell y'all, I am in a place of complacency. Cedric Collins, whoa boy, what's up, my man? How you feeling, brother? Shout out to this brother right here, man. This man, Cedric Collins, is doing some things, yo. We definitely need to link up, brother. I need you to come here. I need you to get interviewed. I need you to sit right in the hot seat because, brother, you got stuff going on, and we need to talk about it. So I'm going to throw it out there. Y'all be on the lookout. Cedric Collins will be on the Jeff Releford Show. Y'all be on the lookout. But yes, man, you got to remember that, see, I lost my train of thought. See, I got happy about Cedric. You see, and learn to celebrate your people you connected to, y'all. When you see your people doing good things, listen, you ain't got to talk to them all the time. You ain't got to sit up here and you ain't got to always be on the phone line. You ain't always got to be up somebody's butt with something. What I mean by that is people, you just don't have to be all over them. Okay? Because people need space. But just celebrate your people. Recognize when they're doing stuff. And I got excited about my boy because, you know, he just came off of Wojak City. You know, Wojak City, it was dope. It was dope. He had talent in the building. They was all coming through. Big dog, I'm sorry, I couldn't be there. I had to be at work. It was just a lot going on, brother. Your boy was tired. But yes, back to this transition, man. Sometimes what we do is we pay attention to that thing that didn't mean us no good, but sometimes that thing, it's just something, like I said, you just got to shake off and you realize that, hey, it was good for you anyway. You know, sometimes, as I've heard my mentor tell me, sometimes you have to go through something in order to get to something. That is a transition. During your transitional phase, you need to learn something. You need to pull something out of the hat there. You need to pull something out of these steps or these processes that you went through, because let's not get it twisted, people. We live a life of steps and processes. That's what our whole life is. It's comprised of that. You getting from point A to B or A all the way to Z. That is what it consists of. That is what life is. You look at from the point you're born, from the point that you die. That's your A to Z right there. How are you feeling in those gaps? How are you feeling in that gap? You know, what moves are you making? Are you okay with where you at? Once again, transition, people. A lot of times people go through change and transition because they're unhappy with where they're at. But like I told you, using myself as example, I had to realize just recently that I have been in a place of complacency. Now, sometimes people looking on the outside, they might say, Jeff, what you talking about? You've been in a place of complacency. I don't see that. Let me tell y'all, a place of complacency is not sometimes meant for other people to see. Looks can always be deceiving, people. That if we haven't learned from any type of social media, haven't we learned from Instagram? Looks can be very deceiving, people. It's nice to have the car out there. It's nice to have the Bentley. It's nice to sit up here, be rolling in some great style, right? It's nice to be rolling in some great style, but we found out that a lot of people are what? Capping. You don't want to be caught capping out here, but what you want to do is you actually want to be real and authentic. So, always own up to where you at, baby. Always own up to where you at. Like I said, I'm at a point of where I became a little complacent. And what I mean by that is, have y'all ever been in a spot where y'all knew the steps, where y'all knew what to do, where people have told y'all time and time again what to do with where you're at a point in your life? And you've heard the steps. You've heard the processes. You know what it does to get to the next level. You know what it takes to get to the next level, but you just don't do it. I'm letting you know today, that is a place of complacency, people. If you don't view it that way, I need you to view it that way now. That is a place of complacency. You are at comfortability. You are at peace within yourself so much that you feel that there is no reason to move because you like where everything is right now. The pieces of the puzzle fit, right? Everything is great when the pieces of the puzzle just fit. Because you don't have to rearrange anything. You don't have to alter anything. You don't have to pull something out and say, this don't look right. No, because it's perfect the way that it is. But have you ever thought about maybe it might be time to complete a new puzzle? Did you ever think about that? It might be time to complete a new puzzle. It might be time to throw out that old bad boy that was a 50 piece. That's why it was easy for you, because let me tell you something, because sometimes in a state of complacency, those steps that you had to take before, they were easy to get to, and now you've learned how to manage those steps. During that transition, it was hard in the beginning, but you've learned how to manage those steps. You learn how to manage those processes. So now you coasting right along and you cool with it. But what if it's time for you to build that, not just that 50 piece puzzle? What if it's time to move to that 100 piece, that 250 piece puzzle, that 750 piece puzzle, that 1,000 piece puzzle? Y'all ever put together a 1,000 piece puzzle? That bad boy is stupid. I'm just saying, from my experience, I don't like 1,000 piece puzzles. I've done them before, but keep me at the 750. Like I be saying, man, sometimes we just be talking to ourselves. Have y'all noticed that? Sometimes we be talking to ourselves. The message that we have to give to the people is also for ourselves as well. Jesus, I'm telling you, that just be hitting home. But your boy is at a place where he needs to put together that 1,000, 2,000 piece puzzle. And with transition, and since we're talking about putting pieces together to the puzzle, right? You got to remember, sometimes you might pick up a piece and that joker might not fit. It might seem like it would, right? It really it's just a smidget off from just falling right in line from where it needs to go. But you still have to accept the fact down the line that ain't the right piece, people. It's not the right piece. That's not where you need to be. So you need to take that bad boy out and keep looking for the correct piece. And when you're in transition, I'm telling you, when change happens, transition follows very quickly. And when transition follows, nobody said that you're going to be ready for transition. Nobody said that you was going to be so gun-ho to take it on. But like I say, a big part of this is acceptance. Got to accept where you are, people. And I love using me as example, because I like to tell God, use me as the catalyst. If you use me as the catalyst, what I get a chance to do is I get a chance to tell people what to do and maybe how to get through something. So when it comes time for them to go through their period of transition or their period of change, now it's not so hard. Use me as the catalyst, guys. So that way, I can take some stress off some people. Maybe I might just be able to remove a couple of them steps, because you heard me talk about them steps and you might be able to recognize where you at. And you might be able to grab at least 100 pieces to that 1,000 piece puzzle just based off what I said alone. Sometimes that's what a pioneer is. A pioneer is somebody who goes through something so you don't have to go through it. They set out groundwork, framework. They map out the stage and the area for you already. So sometimes all you have to do is duplicate the system. Come on, people, duplicate the system and just walk into it, because you already know the results that you might get from it. I said that you might get from it, because a lot of people can repeat processes and a lot of people can be successful and achieve the same results, but you still gonna get some people in there that just not gonna quite get it. You'll get some people that'll get close. Like I told you, I hate to do 1,000 piece puzzles, 2,000 piece puzzles. I hate it. You gonna get me right up there to we might be almost halfway done, and I ain't gonna do it. I'm just not, because it has lost my interest. I am on to the next thing. But what I have been learning more in life is that what we have to do is we have to stop being so bored in life. We got to realize when it's time, when either it's time to work something new in our lives, or it's time to just coast and work this one thing out to get it great, to get it good, to get it cleaned up and polished. So then once that piece of the puzzle is nicely set in and done and ready, it's in its proper place, then we can move on to the next piece. Sometimes we got to learn how to do that, you know. And I'm telling you, y'all, it has been a heck of a journey with trying to follow that process of everything. And really and I'm being pushed. I want to let y'all know, sometimes when you're being pushed into transition, okay, when you're being pushed, it's different when you bring it on yourself, okay? Because a lot of times, as we all know, there are consequences for our actions that we bring on to ourselves. But for the things that you can't control, I'm here to tell y'all people, there are a lot of things going on that I could not control. But I am being pushed into transition. And that doesn't mean, I want to tell y'all too, that doesn't mean just because you're being pushed, that doesn't mean that you stop being a good steward and stop managing well over what it is that the business that you're already conducting. That doesn't mean you let the business or the things that you are over right now. What I mean by business is not a physical business. What I mean by business is just the stuff that you are appointed over. That doesn't mean just because you in transition, you let the things that you are appointed over just fall. No, you continue to operate in that at a level of excellence, because your period of transition is now going to surpass. Okay, hear me. It's supposed to surpass the level of excellence, that you are at now. So what you thought was big when you were operating at comfortability and complacency is now supposed to evolve into something greater than what you thought it was going to be. Because what you did was you chose comfortability. You chose complacency. But when you choose not to have that anymore, you're not going to go backward unless you do nothing. That's why I said you're not supposed to be a terrible steward over the business that you have already been assigned to. That's why you're still supposed to remain a good steward over the business that has been given to you already. Manage it well. Keep managing it at a level of excellence. So then now you have a foundation. It's like when you walk up steps, right? The only way you can walk up to the next step is because it was a step below that. If you want to go to the next level, you have to use that baseline that you created as your step stool to elevate yourself up to the next level. Holy, come on now, people. I'm just trying to drop a few nuggets here because I feel good today. You know, listen, my last couple shows, I ain't been feeling my best. I'm going to just be honest. Jeff Releford ain't been feeling the best. But today, I got some stuff to give you. You know, those who had ears, let them hear it. You know. And for my people visually, for those that they can see, let them see. But yes, people, I'm telling you, use that baseline that you had before as the stepping stone to get you to the next level. You know, all of us, man, when we call to do things, I don't care what it is. Like I told y'all, I talk about business because that's the area that I'm in, but I don't care what it is. It could just be being a better mother, being a better father, being a better worker on the job, you know, especially if you love doing what you're doing, being a better worker on the job, trying to implement different practices to be a better version of you. Use the baseline to go higher, because that's what transition is for. We always think transition is just to beat us down. Now, transition it can beat you down, but I don't quite necessarily believe that transition is there to just knock you down and beat you by the head and say, gotcha. No, I don't believe transition is for that. I strongly believe what transition is for is for you to recognize where you're at. And now you finally reached a level to where, you know what? I just can't do this anymore. So if I can't do this anymore, now there has to be something else that I can do, or I want or desire to do, because at this level, I just don't have the same will. I don't have the same will. My heart's not in the same place like it was before. You know, how I felt about this when I started, it ain't the same. You got to be willing to recognize that. Jalen Halliburton, how you doing, brother? What's going on, dog? How you feeling? Jalen Halliburton. Hey, man, I thank you for tapping in, sir. Yes, grace and peace, brother. Always grace and peace on this side, man. I wouldn't expect nothing less from anybody listening and watching. Please, operate in grace. Operate in peace. Because I'm trying to tell you, God is not the author of confusion. If that's what you choose to believe in, God is not the author of confusion, people. So don't have that confusion come in your life. All right. But big ups to you, Jalen Halliburton. Keep moving how God would have you to move, sir. Keep elevating, keep going higher. And, you use your transition to be that next level, man. Like I'm telling everybody, it can be tough at times. But once again, elevation is just that, people. Elevation. You move up higher. There's levels to the game. Any game that you play, there's always levels to it. I don't care if you was playing Donkey Kong. I don't care if you was playing Street Fighter. And see, I'm naming off all these older games for my people. But Mortal Kombat, people still play Mortal Kombat now. The young bucks be on that joker. They be on it. Killing the game. I don't care if you playing a game of 2K. I don't care if you playing a game of 2K. It is still levels to the game, people. So always use that as a stepping stone. All right, y'all, listen, we are half past the hour. Well, half at the hour right now. So y'all know how we roll. D. Smith. Hey, hold on, boy. Right before we go to the short commercial break, D. Smith, how are you, sir? R3, we in the building, but you know what we do, man. We good over here, man. We good. How are you tonight, sir? Hey, you better go ahead and kill it. Once again, I always mention this. My Shop Talk 7 people, man, the big community, the big ecosystem in the Chi. If you're not tapped in, you better tap in. It's a little bit of opportunity for everybody with the ecosystem. Dennis know what I'm talking about. Whoa, boy, know what I'm talking about. Few of these people know what I'm talking about on here. Few of the people who was tapping in. Nikisha Spiller know what I'm talking about. What's up? My man, Neapolis. What's up, man? Hey, man, big ups to you, sir. Great conversations we've been having. You have been really keeping me motivated, and you are helping me in this level of transition as well. I have to say that, sir, because there are a few people that'll show you the greatness inside of you, dog, and you got to recognize that. And I'm going to talk about that next when we come back. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remind y'all where we're at real quick. And we will be right back. And I have a couple more announcements when I get back as well. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Releford. And I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Releford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Releford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online radio box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay, Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go. There we go, people. Didn't I say we was going to be right back? I told y'all we was coming right back. But I have a couple more announcements that I did not say earlier. Hey, listen, we are here at the Vibe Studios, people, at 2075 Rush Place here in Lake Station, Indiana. The Vibe Studios is comprised of Ron Reader, the VNO, myself of Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, Smooch Wallace. Who is that brother, Smooch Wallace? He is a very talented man. If you do not know him, please get to know him. And Mary Selena K of Rock Truth Radio, people. Yo, we got a studio, man. We will go ahead. We will produce your podcast. We will produce your radio show. If you have a skill or a talent that you would love to bring to the table and you want it to be seen, we will make sure that we get it out there to the people. Come on, man. It's what we do over here. Once again, 2075 Rush Place, the Vibe Studios. Y'all tap in. And I have one more announcement as well. I need to let y'all know that JeffReleford.com has launched, people. Boom. All right. I just had to say that. And I will let y'all know whether it's pertaining to podcasting or radio or anything that I'm affiliated with will be found on JeffReleford.com. So I encourage you all to please tap in, learn about your boy just a little bit more. You know, you can always learn about a person with the affiliations that they are connected with, because Biggs Radio is a part of that also. And, you know, just the podcast, other things of that nature. Y'all go ahead, do your thing with that. I ain't going to tell you like, share, subscribe. All you got to do is type in my name in .com. Boom, baby. It's as simple as that. But we're going to move on, baby. All right, we moving on. Those were a couple of announcements that I need to do and things that I had to address. And I thank y'all for listening and having me address those. So before we went ahead and took the brief commercial break and we hit the announcements, I said, y'all got to keep some people around y'all that's showing you your greatness. Okay. Now, I don't care who's around you. Okay. You need people that can pour into you. They fill your cup. Now, maybe you might not be at a place where you can fill their cup yet, because maybe you still trying to find out how to fill their cup. I understand that. I used to be there. I always wasn't a motivational person. I always wasn't Life Coach Jeff. I always wasn't Jeff Releford, the personality. I always was not that. So I get it. But as you move into the realm of becoming a better you, in transition, navigating spaces, more so about you, what you got to remember to do is this: be around people that pour into you and you pour into them. I love to call this, people, the law of reciprocity. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. The law of equal exchange. You do for me and I will do for you. And I'm not saying, people, please don't take this out of context. It's not that you have a level of arrogance about this. Okay. You don't ever take a level of arrogance when it comes to equal exchange. Okay. You never get to a point to where they say, oh, well, I ain't doing this for them because they don't ever do nothing for me. Nah, that's not how this works. Law of equal exchange. For me, I'm going to tell you how I have it by definition and how I would drop the seed. When you drop a seed, you do it willingly. You do it intentionally because it's in you to do. You do it with expecting nothing in return. You show that love and gratitude to somebody through the information that you're willing to give them without you wanting nothing in return. And you measure that. Now, sometimes you could keep on dropping gems, trying to help people. And guess what? Sometimes that can be draining. Sometimes that can be draining on a person. For you to continue to say things and to pour things, it can seem like that somebody is not listening. Because guess what, people? We take gratitude and pride when we talk to people who we motivate and they take advice that we give them and they elevate from that. Let's just be honest. If you tell somebody, hey, man, if you go down Route 65 and then you take Route 65 to Route 30, that'll get you right over there to Walmart going east on 30. And somebody takes your directions and they say, man, I'm just so happy I made it to Walmart because I took your directions. That's going to be like, yeah, I'm glad you did that, man. I'm glad I was able to get you there. You have a sense of gratitude and that made you feel happy because why? They took your direction. Boom. There we go, people. Something as simple as that. Something as simple as that. It just happens. So this is how we are. This is who we are by design. When people listen to words that we say and they take it into account and they get the said result that we said they can get, we are happy about it. Everybody's excited, and that's it. So be around some people that you can pour into. They will pour into you, and take some advice. I always say, all you got to do is try something. And like I said, these outlets can be applied to anything. Like I said, you could want to be a better mother, father, a friend, be a better video gamer. I don't know, whatever you want to be. Maybe a radio personality, a DJ, a life coach, an author. Anything you want to do, you can apply these particular things to. That's why I said people ain't always about business, but it is always about having a baseline and a quality of life. Okay? Having a baseline to your quality of life. You always want to make sure you can add to that and take away, depending on the good outweighing the bad, whatever's in there. That's what you want to do. So you want to make sure that you're good on all levels, man. And all levels just means making sure you straight. In the most simplistic way. Make sure you straight. But yes, people, keep people around you, man. That will pour into you. I can't stress that enough. Because in order for myself to reach a certain level of setting goals and doing things for myself, I just had to. It was inevitable. It was inevitable that I would reach some level of success because I had positivity poured into me and I had realness from people poured into me. If they didn't like something, they told me. If I did a poor job, they told me. I didn't like it when they told me I did a poor job. But in order to be refined, as I said earlier, when you're going through transition, you have to be told these things sometimes. How do you expect growth if, people can't even tell you the truth? How do you expect to be great if don't even want to hear criticism? And I know criticism sucks. It sucked for me in the beginning. I never forget this. I had an argument with my sister-in-law when I was starting off everything. But when just whatever I was doing, it was just a name. That's it. Name and a vision. But I had to remember that everything starts off with a name and a vision. Nothing is established unless you're born into it or you buy it that way. Okay? You born into it or you just buy it that way. Nothing is established already for you in order to achieve a level of success when you want to have a business. Already. Got to build it. They say if you build it, they'll come. But nothing was built. I remember getting criticized by my sister-in-law. We went back and forth at it. Yes, we did. We went back and forth at it hardcore. But what it did for me was this. I had somebody who was close to me asking me why and how. And I was obsessed with trying to figure out the why and how. For 5 years? Still asking myself the why and how. Big ups to Shakira Releford, my sister-in-law. Big ups to you because you pushed me to ask the why and the how. I didn't like it. Because please believe, I thought she was coming at you, boy. I had fist up. I was ready. I was protected. I was protected what was around me. And I said, nah, man, you gonna catch this vision. But let's be real. If she couldn't catch it, who else was gonna catch it? Let's be honest. So y'all got to think about that sometimes about yourself. When y'all want to do certain things or y'all want to achieve certain things within, if other people can't catch it and it doesn't make sense, who is it going to make sense to? It can always make sense to you first. But always remember, sometimes we have to convey these things to people. One of the best things that we can do is convey our own strengths, our own weaknesses to people. And what it allows them to do is to gain strength from that. That's one of the best things that as human beings that we have attained. And And we can go ahead and we can sift through that type of information with people. That, to me, that's one of the best strengths that we have. For us just having the ability to decipher through other people's stories, shortcomings, greatness, we can relate that to ourselves. And to me, that just shows how intricate God is with how he created us, because we have the ability to do that. So like I said, I believe in God, people. You can believe in whatever you want to believe, but that's my point of reference. So yes, as always, y'all, come on. I'm glad y'all in the room, baby. I'm so glad y'all in the room. I'm glad we got some listeners. I'm glad we got some people to give some shout outs to. I'm about to give them out right now. Shout out to Carly Rainey. Carly, my girl, Carly, I feel like I have not seen you in forever. And I believe it's because it has been several months since I've seen you. You got to let me know when you're going to be on Shop Talk, so that way I can kind of work something around my schedule and I can bump into you up there. Or I can just come on your show again. Shout out to Carly Rainey in International Radio out there doing big things. Once again, shout out to Nikisha Spiller, Samuel Abram, my boy Neo, Byron Patton. Now, I have not talked to Byron in years. Big ups to you, Byron. You always moving out here, sir. And Tanya Wilson, just a few of the people that's tuning in right now. Oh, and I saw somebody else got added to that mix. Dashe family. Big ups to you, Dashe. Girl, you always tuning in. You always share it up. You always throw it down. I thank you for that. I thank y'all for that. So big ups to the shares, big ups to the talkers, big ups to the people that mention your name in rooms that you ain't even sitting in. Big ups to the people that see the greatness in you just because you are you. Can we give some hand claps and can we give some shout outs to those people today? Can we do that? Call somebody up and tell them, hey, I appreciate what you do for me. They ain't even got to know what you're doing. It could just be the fact that they there. They show up all the time. Give some shout outs to your people. Let them know that they care. Let them know that they matter. Because you never know what anybody is going through in this bad boy. You just never know. But if you could just uplift one person, I ain't telling you to change the world. I ain't telling you go out there, save the whales, save the dolphins, feed the children. I ain't telling you to do all that. All I'm doing is saying, go out there and inspire one person today. If you inspire one, you have fulfilled a piece of your calling and what you are supposed to do. Come on now. Put a smile on somebody's face. Make them smile today. That's all I'm saying, people. Come on. Spread positivity and peace wherever you at, baby. Man, I just feel like, sometimes I just feel like, I feel like just wanting to do so much more. And you know what's so crazy, y'all? I don't know what that more is sometimes. I never know what that more is. Sometimes it just gets dropped on me. Y'all ever want to do something so bad, like I asked y'all earlier? Y'all want to do something so bad to where you just manifest it. It just come out of nowhere. And then you be like, dang, this is what I was talking about. This is what I said I want to do. That's how I feel sometimes. Like, man, I just have so much going on in my head. If y'all only knew the mind of Jeff Releford, maybe some of y'all can't handle that. I don't know. It ain't a bad thing, but it'd be a lot going on up there, y'all. Hey, man, I just want to, let me see. We got something going on. Let's see what we got. Halliburton. Okay, let me see what you got, brother. Let's see. Let's put it up here. It says, also, if you've inspired one, you've inspired many, because that one will go on to inspire others. You know what, Jalen? I'm going to read that one more time, because you, sir, just showed each and every one of us how we are all connected. Halliburton said, also, if you've inspired one, you've inspired many, because that one will go on to inspire others. Come on now, baby. You planting a seed. And as that plant grows, it bears fruit, and people start to pluck from that tree. Come on now, Halliburton, you just gave a whole word. I swear, Halliburton, you a preacher, ain't you? You know something I don't know, ain't it? You be in the pulpit, don't you? I know you do. That was a whole 3-point sermon right there, and I didn't know it. A whole 3-point sermon. But yes, my man is completely correct. He's completely correct. And it's interesting because it's not it's like I said, you don't have to have the whole scheme or dream of wanting to change the world. We're all interconnected. We are all interconnected. Everything that we learn is just information that we heard from other people. Everything. It's crazy because we can't even track that. Ain't it so crazy? Ain't that very interesting? You can't even imagine how much information that we have gotten from people that has come from somebody in some way, somehow. You ever got something that was meant for you right there in that time and in that moment? And you felt that it was just strategically placed for you to get and to understand right there in that moment. Ain't that wild? To me, that just shows once again, how interconnected we are as people, as human beings, how dynamic we are, how things work through change and transition. Oh, y'all like that? I know y'all did. Because this is what we're talking about today. This just shows how things just are grouped together in all these different outlets, all these different platforms, all these different ways that we tend to think about things, harvest our thoughts, manifest our very dreams. But right before our eyes, it's all because you got information. And that information was either passed down from generations or passed down from somebody at that moment. But the man upstairs put it right in your lap and in your spirit and in your mind and in your corner for a reason. Once again, man, it's time for us to elevate, It's time for us to use all the information we have in order for us to grow and get to and maximize to a much better level. It is time for us to go ahead and use the information we got and allow that to push us up to the next level. Use that as the step stool. Take that left foot and just push up. And then when you're ready, you could take the right foot and then you can elevate to that next level. Because remember, all that information, when you stepped on top of it, that's the base. That you created a foundation. So get this. That means there had to be a foundation under the foundation already. You're adding more to it. So then when it's really time for you to step up, all that information that you got on that next level, you ready to, bam, step up, apply those same concepts. Don't be complacent. Add to what you already know. And then boom, baby, you already there. Sometimes, I don't think we realize how close we actually are to our greatness. Sometimes I don't think we even realize how close we actually are to our own greatness, to our own peace, to our own way of divine fulfillment. I don't think we realize how close we are to that at times. But if you just sit down, take a deep breath, and really just soak it all in, you will realize that you are right there. That it's never left you. It's never strayed you. You might have thought it had at certain times, but everything that you had has been inside of you because it was placed inside of you. Y'all know where I'm going with that, baby. Y'all know where I'm going with that. It's been placed inside you. So let's stop putting our own greatness on the back burner. Stop putting your greatness on the back burner. Stop putting at the fact that you want peace, saying I can't achieve it. If you want peace, you can have peace. If you want love, you can share love and you can receive love. If you want peace of mind, you can create it and you can dish out peace of mind to people. Because how you dish out peace of mind is by creating an atmosphere. By creating an atmosphere of allowable, shareable information to come to you and the people. I'm trying to tell you, it's out there. We all do this, yo. We all do this. Sometimes we just need to take a real good woo-sigh. Take a good, big old deep breath in. and bask in it. Because I don't want none of y'all. I don't want anybody that I am connected to. Let me tell y'all, for real. I don't want anybody that I am connected to ever miss out on opportunity, to ever miss out on greatness, to ever miss out on where God truly wants them to be, because you took one moment to say, no, I don't want to, or no, I don't care, or no, I don't see this, or I don't see that. Nah, baby. Look at all the good. Look at all of the good. Look at all of the positivity. Just because it's Monday and you might have had a bad day today, or just because stuff didn't go the way that you wanted it to go, you still got breath in your body. You still got activity of your limbs. You got a whole mind to think about what you want to do in the next moment, minute, second, whatever length of time it may be. You have enough time to think about that. So let's just be grateful, people. Let's just be blessed. Let's just realize that we got everything already inherently given to us. Inherently given to us. Passed down. Either by genetics or spiritual way. Either way, it's been given to us inherently. But all we got to do is tap into that, baby. That's all we got to do. And for y'all probably trying to figure out, well, Life Coach Jeff, how? It don't take a lot to tap in. All you have to do is believe what's inside of you. Hear me. How much time we got? We got 7 minutes. Hear me say this for the last few minutes. Your how you do this is just believing on what's already inside of you. If you can tell yourself that you're great, believe it's there. If you can tell yourself peace is in you, stay with the peace. If you believe love is inside of you, show love. If you believe that you can have everything in any of your dreams that you've had, like people always say, you can have whatever in your wildest dreams. If that is what you solely believe, go out there and get it. Come on now. I think we're going to end this one. I think I'm going to end right on that note right there, because I want y'all to harp on that. Go out there and get it. All right, y'all. It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you. And I thank each and every one of y'all for listening to the Jeff Releford Show today on Biggs Radio Chicago. And once again, we're going to give out these last few shout outs. Shout out to Black Butterfly Pod, Dashay Keys. Shout out to Carly Rainey, Nikisha Spiller, Samuel Abram, my boy Neo, Byron Patton, Tanya Wilson, Cedric Collins, a.k.a. Warboy, Jalen Halliburton, D. Smith. Come on, y'all. All of y'all. Dinah Lynn Biggs, Julian St. Chris, the whole team who makes up Biggs Radio and staff. I'm going to tell y'all I'm Life Coach Jeff. And remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. I love y'all so very much. And peace out. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Releford. And I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Releford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Releford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the Online Radio Box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way, you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go.